Okay, guys. Good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Interestingly, it's me you'll be seeing today. God is it. Just a minute, you soon see me. Good evening. I want to be sure that I'm also able to follow the YouTube chat so that. Okay, people are joining. You're welcome. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. If you can hear me, can you type? Let me see the chat box. Good. Good evening. Thank you for greeting me. Yeah. Good evening, Ogundele Abisola. Yes, please. Let's make use of the chat. Let's make use of the chat. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Yes, you can hear me. Thank you for clarifying that. Thank you. Thank you. Looking Baba, thank you for clarifying that you can hear me. So if you can hear me, then the next thing is for you to see me. And then I'm just waiting for a few people to join, and then we can start properly. Waiting for one or two people to join, and then they can start properly. You can hear me. Thank you. Yes, yes. So far, I'm sure you can see me now. Okay. So far, if you have something that you've learned, you can put it in the chat box. You can put it in the chat box. Let's hear your light bulb moment. The main thing. Those of you on uh, YouTube, please, you can also chat. Beneza, you're welcome. I can see your chat. Long Femi, Beneza, good evening to you too. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, guys. And I'm going to wait for the next maybe 1 minute or less than a minute before we start properly. This is 5:04. Once it's 5:05, then I should be able to start. If you're on YouTube, you're joining on YouTube, and you also want to make comments or you'll be able to type questions, please ensure that you subscribe. If you don't subscribe, I think the way YouTube did it is that you can't make comments. So you need to subscribe to the channel. And in any case, you should subscribe to our channel so that you can get notifications. All right. Happy Sunday, everyone. It's 5:05, and I guess we can start right away. Good evening. Greetings to everyone from the different part of the world. And today, it's my face you likely be seeing, like I said. So as it is, I'm just going to read, just for the sake of people who may not know me, I will read my profile, out so that we can all know who the speaker is. So biography, Ayodeji Olasanmi is a highly experienced leadership intelligence course trainer with a strong academic background. He holds a bachelor's degree in English language, English education, and a master's degree in English language from the esteemed University of Lagos, Nigeria. So throughout his career, Ayodeji has made a significant contributions in various sectors, including education and the church. He's widely recognized as the founder of the annual Lagos Praise event, a prayer walk that brings the community together in a spirit of unity and faith. Additionally, he is the driving force behind the Leadership with Olasanmi initiative, which aims to empower individuals through leadership development. As a CEO of Olasanmi Home Tutors, Ayodeji oversees a range of educational services, including tutoring, coaching, consulting, and training. He previously served as the administrative director of that university and currently holds the role of executive director of LIBL Academy. Ayodeji's passion for leadership development is reflected in his commitment to continuous learning. He has completed numerous leadership training programs, including earning a leadership training certificate from the Daystar Leadership Academy. Beyond his professional accomplishment, Ayodeji is a devoted husband and a proud father of 3 daughters. His dedication to his family, work, and community exemplify his unwavering commitment to making a positive impact on those around him. Okay, thank you. And that's just a brief summary of the speaker. Okay, thank you for that feedback. The audio quality is not good enough. Thank you for that feedback. Please, if you can't hear me, I won't know unless you make the comment. So can you hear me now? How is the audio quality? Is it improved? Is it better? Is it improved? Okay, someone said good here. Can I get more opinion so that I can, before I start officially, good here. Oh, good luck. You're with us today. Perhaps, good luck. Can you type if you'll be able to talk after this session? Good here. It's good. Okay. Thank you so much. Good here. All right. I think we can start now since majority says it's good. Good evening. Those of you on YouTube, please, I'd like to also know if it's good over there. Okay. So this evening, I explained yesterday that the topic for the session for Wednesday is what we'll be doing today. Whilst today's session will be on Wednesday. Trust me, you don't want to miss Wednesday session. And let me just advise, just in case you have friends, okay, who didn't register, it's okay. It's okay. Registration is closed. But you can tell them to join this training. They just won't get certificate at the end, but they can learn, they can gain the knowledge. Okay, tell them they can come to the YouTube channel and watch and be a part of it. Okay, so this evening I've been asked to speak on the nation under a political siege. What is the way out? The nation under political siege, what is the way out? So my first question this evening will be, so I'll be taking it from a perspective of leadership, okay? I'm taking it from the perspective of leadership so that we understand, how a nation can be under a political siege. Sometimes we wonder why we go through what we go through in the nation, right? So let me begin by asking, what is leadership? Maybe before can I get feedbacks? What is leadership to you? In your own understanding, what is leadership? How do you define leadership? YouTube, Zoom, let me hear your definition. What's leadership? How do you define leadership? Yes. Oluwakemi Solar Ruth. Good evening. What is leadership to you? I want to hear your feedback. How do you define leadership? What's leadership? And you realize that the definition of leadership will have certain characteristics and traits that will help us in the journey and as we unravel the way out of the political siege. Leadership, Madaki Gideon Bertrand, thank you. So Madaki says leadership is the act of guiding or directing people to achieve a common goal. Madaki, because of that definition you gave, let me give you a quote. Everybody listen to this quote, and this is beautiful. If you can't accept my correction, then I won't offer you my direction. That's something for you to think about as considering that definition you just gave. That is something for everybody to think about. If you can accept my correction, then I can offer you my direction. And you will understand that as we go on, even in these definitions. Okay, the comments are coming in. Thank you. Thank you. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. I like that. The comments are coming in. So another person defines leadership, says leadership is that's Mebaka. Mebaka says leadership is the ability of an individual or a group of people to influence and guide followers or members of an organization, society, or team. All right, beautiful. That's a beautiful one. These are complex, detailed definitions I'm getting. Leadership, according to Ellen Isaac, is that leadership is the ability to influence the lives of others. It is purpose-oriented. Now we are done with today's teaching. Good luck says leadership is influence. Simply put, leadership is influence. Okay, let me see if anyone has said anything on YouTube, and then I can start with my own. Those of you on YouTube, you've not given yet, just saying good evening, sir. Yes, good evening, all of you. But I want to hear your definition of leadership. What is leadership to you? Okay, I want to, okay, thank you, David. Oh, beautiful. David Tosin says, I'll define leadership as being able to impact others and influence the ecosystem with my gifts and potential. Did you see that coming? Did you see that definition coming? Okay, Ruth says that leadership is an act of service. Awesome. Awesome, guys. Okay, I'm just going to take two more definitions, and then I can probably just take from your definitions, and then we can go on. So somebody is saying that leadership to me means everything. Everything growth with Tiana says, leadership to me means the act of guiding others to achieve a common goal. Thank you for that. Yes, the act of guiding others. You can see guidance coming through again and again and again. If you, Oluwakemi Sola says, if you can accept, okay, you're making my code. Okay, if you can accept, sorry, if you can't accept my correction, then I can't offer you my direction. Yes, yes, that's a quote for all of you. If you can accept my direction, then I can offer you my, if you can accept my correction, then I can offer you my direction. Now let's look at leadership. Thank you. I can see your definitions are coming. Leadership is the ability to influence, inspire, and guide others towards a common goal. Now, there are certain things you will realize characteristics, and that's Abisola who gave that definition. You realize that there are certain things that we said about leadership. We talked about influence. We talked about goal. We talked about directing. We talked about guidance. We talked about influence. We talked about service, certain characteristics, certain words that stood out in our definition of leadership. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? What are we going to do tomorrow? Try to take over the world. Because like I said in the code, I said, if you can accept my correction, then I can offer you direction. So you can see that guidance, direction is part of leadership. So leadership is influence. Leadership is guidance. Leadership is service. Then there is another thing that I believe some must have said earlier. It's also, talking about goal, which has to do with vision. So leadership is the ability to influence others, to serve in genuine service, to influence others to serve, take up responsibility, and serve towards a certain goal or vision. You will understand where I'm going when I said, okay, I want to look at this thing from the perspective of leadership, because we are talking about a nation under political siege. What is the way out? And you will ask yourself, what is the goal? Because if you look at the definition we are talking about, guidance, growth, influence. So whether you are following or you're a leader, if I'll ask you a question, what is even the goal of the nation where you live? What's the vision? I know 85% or 80% of people who register for this course are from Africa. And we have others in diaspora in the Western world. But if you look at your own nation, let me make reference to Africa. Most African nations, do we really have goals? Do we know the vision of our country? Do we have a direction? Because if you're talking about guidance, you must be guiding it towards a place. If you are talking about influence, you must be influencing it towards a goal. What is the goal? Now, in Nigeria, what is the goal of Nigeria? Let's look at it that way. so that you will understand that a political siege, a nation that is under a political siege, does not happen overnight. It's a gradual process. And sometimes when the foundation is destroyed, people usually ask, what can the righteous do? Well, here is my response. As always, I always tell them that the righteous can rebuild. So let's rebuild, okay? If the foundation be destroyed. And what is the foundation? If we don't even understand the concept on how, the concept of leadership. The concept of leadership. Now, I've asked many of you, what is leadership? And some people say service, some people say influence. Some, people give different explanations. And if I had to go through the chart again, there are a lot. I want to go through the chart again to read some of the key things that people made reference to as leadership is an act of service. Leadership is the ability to set examples. Adebukola Peterson, to set example for others to follow. Can you imagine that? Set examples, model, the model leader. Sandra says leadership is guiding and inspiring others to achieve a common goal by setting vision, making decisions, and fostering teamwork. Wow. Amazing. Maybe I'll copy that. What do you say? So leadership is impacting, influencing, and guiding people to achieve a set goal. So if you look at all of these definitions and you ask yourself, all the leadership forms that we have, are they different? What? Are people not leading? Are they not guiding? Are they not influencing? Why then do we have different results, different impact, different influence, form of influence? What's going on? So because of that, so that we can dive straight into the political stage, I'm going to, so there is this concept about leadership that I call spirit of leadership. There are about 7 spirits of leadership. But for the purpose of this teaching and, because I want to work with the time and because where I'm going to actually is to link it up to political siege, a nation that is under a political siege. So there are about 7 spirits of leadership. I'm going to talk about maybe 2 or 3, depending on how time permits. And as I talk, I want you to pay attention. I want you to follow me, okay? Let's just go on, okay? The first spirit of leadership that I want to talk about is the domineering spirit. Domineering spirit, because you see, personally, I believe that leadership is a spirit. Yeah. So, well, I hope you understand that as we go on. Leadership is a spirit. Okay. You can have 3 leaders, but with different impact, different strategy, different, even though they might have same goals, but different strategies, different impact, command different respect, have different values, or their value before their followers are different. So you can have 3 leaders who are of equal position before you, but you perceive them differently. And the value you acute to them is respect, is based on the respect. I mean, the value you see in them will determine the respect you give to them. So let me give you one quote again on that. Let me give you a quote. You have often heard that respect is earned. It shouldn't be forced, right? Haven't you heard that? But I say unto you that respect is a value, is a product of value. Yeah, that's the quote. Respect is a product of value. Meaning that, what that means is, let me explain that so that you understand that value perception I was giving about 3 leaders in front of you with the same positions, with the same level. Respect is a product of value. So you have 3 leaders in front of you. The respect you accord them is based on how you value them, the value you perceive with each of them. Because if you don't value, or if you don't see value in a particular leader, that particular leader may not earn your respect. Respect comes as a result of value. Permit me to make reference to a religious figure. That's Jesus Christ. That's my savior. I want to make reference to him. as popular as Jesus is, he was popular in his time, he's still popular now, you know, whether you are a Christian or not, you know, you have heard of him, right? But as popular as Jesus is, as respected as he was in his time, do you know there was a time he was disrespected? He was disrespected when he came to his own family, when he came into his own town. And the reason he was disrespected was because they could not see value in him. They looked at him and they said, isn't this guy? So what's the value? Why are people hyping this guy as if he's the Almighty, as if there is more to him? And is his father not a carpenter? That poor guy who is not that rich, he's not even amongst the richest in the community. I'm paraphrasing now. And so they did not accord so much value because they could not respect him, because they couldn't see so much value. But when he went out of the town, people who had heard of him say, hey, this is the Jesus that they've spoken of. Some even remove their clothes at some point and say, please walk on it. Let the donkey that you're riding on ride on it. So you can see that leadership, that respect for leadership is based, that respect was God through value, the value they could accrue to him. That's why I said that 3 leaders can be placed in front of you with the same positions but different values. So the values we accord will determine the kind of respect that you will accord them. That's why I said respect respect is a product of value. So when people say respect is earned, unfortunately, no matter, you may actually deserve certain respect, that you deserve to earn it, but if those people don't put value, they don't see the value in you, you will realize, and that's what has happened to so many of you in different positions, maybe not even political position, leadership position, that you are in certain leadership posts and it's difficult for people to even respect you. Sometimes they respect some of your subordinates. Maybe you are in a group like executives, you know, different executives, and maybe you are the president, but it's possible they respect your PRO more than they respect you. That when you talk, they wouldn't take you serious, but when your PRO speaks, everybody follows. And you're wondering, what's going on here? I've done everything possible. That's value. That's value. Okay, so I'm coming to a place. I was trying to explain so that I'm trying to work within the time frame so that you can have time for questions. So I was trying to explain spirit of leadership. So I said the first one I want to explain to you is called the domineering spirit. Now, a domineering spirit is the type you can identify it. You can see it. A leader with a domineering spirit is a type of leader that is more of a dictator, authoritarian. You can feel their presence wherever they go. Whenever they go to a place, you can feel their presence. You can see their impact. They have this personality that is domineering. If they announce their personality, their impact announces them more. If you are really thinking about your nation now, you'll be wondering, does my leader, whether I don't know where you're watching from, you know, but you begin to examine, you can be examining your mind, your leader, does your leader fall into this category? I'll give an example of that kind of leadership. There's a particular president in the United States of America at some point whose influence, by virtue of his ability or his type of, somebody say, oh, my country, Gideon, can you tell us your country? Where's your country? Where's your country? Type it. I want to know where your country is. You know, there's a particular president in US, there was a particular president in the United States of America, that his presence was so domineering that by virtue of his presence, he was so popular. These are the kind of leaders that they don't care about what you say. They will just tell you what they think, and they don't care, and they expect it should be done. They don't care about we are from the same country, so okay. All right, Madaki, no problem. You know, they don't care. They don't care. They just give their opinion. Some of these leaders are even more popular than the nations that they represent. Their impact, when fellow leaders are gathered, when they are there, you can tell, okay, this person. So that's why when you see them doing interviews, they don't care whether they are the president or they are the governor, or they just say it as it is. And so there, I'm sure if you know the US president I'm talking about, can you put it in the chat box? I just want to be sure that that you guys are thinking, you are being able to put it. Can you put it in the chat box? Okay. The president, oh yes, somebody said it. Good Lord said it. It's in the chat box. Yes, exactly. Yes, Madaki said it. Those of you on YouTube, please say it. I want to know. I want to see. I want to read your chat as well. Yes, you guys got it. You guys got it. That kind of leader, they are domineering. And when they go to a place, you can see sometimes they may not even be in the military. So an example of domineering government is the kind of dictatorship government, the military government. But at times you can find that kind of government in a political arena, in a democracy. Okay. Oh, okay. Somebody, okay, good Lord said another person. Okay, yeah. Okay, good. When they're in a certain sphere, you can tell. So we have some of these domineering leaders, even in democracy. And that's why you will see them, they can just make a policy, make a law. They don't care. They are not concerned. They don't try to be diplomatic in exerting their authority. To say, okay, this is how it should be, this is how it should be. And you could see, okay, more good. Oh, more comments are coming in. I'm not going to mention the president. I mean, the leaders you guys are calling, but I can see more options coming in. Beautiful. So you guys are getting the point. So we've got these leaders. But do you know that sometimes, don't go too far, you have some of these leaders even in your organization. You have some of these leaders in your religious gathering, in your society, in your community. You have some of these leaders in your local government. These leaders, their impact can be seen. They are not necessarily bad leaders. That's the truth. And I'm not talking extensively on the seven spirits so that we can know, okay, which type is the best. But like I said, it's for us to understand, and I will link it up to the political say, a nation under a political say, so that we can understand, why we are where we are, or why your country is where it is. Even in the family, God bless you, Babayale, and Oluwapo. That's very profound. In the family, you've got that. You've got the male personnel, the father, oftentimes, they're domineering. They are not necessarily bad, but they are just, they are so authoritative that sometimes they say what they feel without even thinking of the impact it might have on the listener. So they're not diplomatic. They don't try to, go the other way or say something. God bless you. All right, so let me move on to the next one since you guys are getting the flow. There's another level of leader. There is another spirit of leadership that I want to talk about today, and that is called the intimidating spirit of leadership. Now, this intimidating spirit of leadership is not that the leaders are intimidating. Rather, the other way is that the leaders are intimidated. This type of leaders are evident as puppet leadership. Puppets? Positional leaders. For some of you might remember the teaching on positional leadership in 2022. Positional leadership. Leaders who are in a place just as figures without much impact. This kind of leaders, let me first explain that spirit behind, because the kind of spirit that is operating in a system will determine the kind of operations you get in that system. Now, this type of leaders, the challenge with these leaders or this leadership is that they don't believe in themselves. There is so much they have low self-esteem. And you might be wondering, then how did they get into the position of leadership? Oftentimes, some of them, they are put there, not necessarily by merit, maybe by some godfathers or people who find them easy to manipulate. because this kind of leaders can easily be manipulated. These leaders don't have a mind of their own. So when the public goes this way, they go there. When the opinion goes this way, they go here. They don't have decisive decisions. They can't make decisive decisions. It is very important for us to understand this type of, this spirit of leadership, so that you will understand why certain nations are, or the kind of leaders that you have that are making policies. The kind of leaders that are making decisions. The type of leaders that are guiding and ruling us. YouTube, sorry, I can't see your chat. I don't know if you are still, I don't know if you guys are still chatting. I want to see your chat. Okay, I want to see your chat. Let it come. Oh, yeah, I can see. Sorry, I didn't see it earlier. Yes. Sorry, I won't be able to mention the names that you guys type. Aha, Oh, somebody said my own no get Zumadura. Is this Zuma? Yeah, Zumadura said my own no get domineering spirit. Okay, please, can you let us know the country? Can we know the country? So these leaders, this intimidating spirit, they portray a leadership that is oftentimes more of a puppet. So they are there, they are like figureheads, but they don't make decisions. People who make decisions are underneath. They are not the one ruling the state of affairs. Some people in an organization is their wives. In fact, let me even bring it home. In relationships, we have some of these leaders, boy and girl. So you have a guy, the guy who should be able to see, have visions, be able to talk, be able to speak and say, let's go to this direction. But there's some guys, sorry, I'm saying guys now, but there are some guys in a relationship. I want to bring it home because sometimes it might look too far to say, okay, the president of a country, the CEO of an organization, or the local government chairman. Let's bring it home to our small communities, our relationships. When you're cutting with somebody, this type of leaders, they are the type that when the lady will say, you know what, I think we should go to this place tomorrow. The guy will say, yes. And then the lady can change and say, you know what, I don't think we should go. Yes. So the lady asks, what do you think? Yes, I think what you are thinking. So the lady asks again, I think you are stupid. He said, yes, I agree with you. Let's say, okay, I don't think you are stupid. He said, actually, you are right. I'm not stupid. They really don't have their own mind. And that can be, at first, it will look as if and I know some ladies probably are in this problem, honestly, where you have somebody, where your partner is not decisive, is not firm to an extent, it's just easily swayed. It can be moved around by the winds. This is happening here, they move here. This is that, and that also happens for businessmen. Some people who are in business, they hear this is the happening thing, they move here today. They don't have a foundation, they don't have strong connection or understanding of it. Then tomorrow they hear this is what is happening tomorrow, then they move there. No vision, no direction, no goal, no objective. So you have this type of leaders in communities, in nations, in continents. And these leaders, oftentimes, they might be there as figureheads, but they don't make decisions. They don't run the country. They don't run the nations. People underneath them run the nations. People in their cabals. I asked Meta AI to generate a picture. Maybe I'll post it on the general group so that you guys can look at the group. Where you see many leaders. Many people sitting, and then you see a guy, as the leader standing, and that's the one you are seeing. But the people who are making the decisions are behind the scene. So those people, they are intimidating. They have intimidating spirit of leadership. They are puppets. They are people. The second spirit is intimidating spirit. Yes, the second spirit is intimidating. So that's it. That's the second spirit of leadership. My time, this is 5:36. Okay. Let me see if I can touch on one, then I move straight to how it affects or how it relates to nations and stuff. And then I can take questions. So finally, I want you to understand that there is another level of leadership or spirit of leadership. This is called prideful. Now, it's similar to domineering, but it's not. Like I said there are seven, but maybe I'll stop at this third one. There is the prideful spirit of leadership. Now, the prideful spirit of leadership is exhibited through a form of leadership where this type of leaders don't earn leadership positions. They are not, it's not rightfully theirs, but they presuppose that it is their right. Like this type of leaders, you see that they look down on every other person, that nobody has the qualification or the ability or the right to take certain positions, certain political positions, certain official positions, certain religious positions, certain positions other than them. Okay, so I can see comments. Enitolua Ferron has posted the name of a possible prideful spirit of leadership. Now, the reason how this leader is different from domineering spirit. You know, I said domineering spirit, they just exert their position, they exert their presence in a place. But a prideful spirit, while a domineering spirit can hear your opinion and just don't care and say his own opinion. A prideful spirit does not see a reason you should even give an opinion. You might give an opinion, but they won't even respond. A domineering spirit might still respond, either by attacking you back or anything. But a prideful spirit does not count it, does not think you are fit. People will not put me in trouble with the names you people are mentioning in this comment section, you know. But I can see your comment, I can see the suggestions that you guys are giving, the leaders that you guys are giving. Yes, you are looking at these leaders now. So these leaders, the prideful spirit of leadership, they come into a position either by usurping, you know, or forceful takeover or rigging, if it's a democracy, because they feel it is their right, it is their duty, it is they are the most qualified. So the problem is that they don't even hate others. It's not that they hate others. It's not that even if you come, they will attack you. But they feel that you are too insignificant for them, for you to be at the same level where you are competing for anything. That's why they are so proud and prideful that it is their duty. The unfortunate thing about such is that they're usually clueless. They are clueless because the only thing that ever mattered to them right from the onset is the position, is that post. So when they get to that post, they are clueless of visions and things that can be done. Because oftentimes now, when they get into that position, then the next thing is self-gratification. You know, looking after themselves. Think about that in your organization. There are certain people who fight for position, and some just believe that they have the qualification, they have every right, they should be there. And by the time you put them there, you can't see them do anything meaningful. When you are in a small society or even local government area, some people believe maybe by virtue of being rich, sometimes, yeah, you can be so rich, you know, somebody said, yeah, exactly, said they think it's their time. Yeah, that could be the reason, you know, but this leader sometimes also, it comes by, they feel it's a right, you know, but oftentimes they get into that position through, permit me to use a colloquial, mago, through fraudulent means. They get into that post through fraudulent means. If it involves usurping, if it involves taking over by force, if it involves rigging, if it any way that will get them to be exalted on that throne, that's their form of leadership. And when they assume such positions, they cannot function effectively. So now, I want you to now look at it, because I'm sure you'll be expecting me to talk about the spirit of leadership that has to do with the solution, right? Don't worry. That will be the concluding part. Now let's bring these three spirit of leadership to the nation. Let's bring the other political nations. Have you realized that you have many people in politics? Take a look at these three people. Just imagine these three set of spirit of leadership. Take these three spirits that are guiding a particular system of leadership, being in your leadership terrain. What kind of economy, what kind of nation do you think you will have? You have a domineering spirit leadership, whereby everything is authoritarian. You have the intimidating spirit, whereby everything is, the leader is just a puppet. He's just there as a ceremonial head, nothing, nothing, nothing. And then you have another system that is prideful, where they are clueless. It's a clueless form of government. That's what they learn. They just feel, look, I'm there now, just respect me. Your opinion really doesn't matter. Now, I want you to examine this. When you think within you, and this is where I'm bringing it home, when you think that these leaders don't deserve, because I ask you to type the leaders whom you think the country that belong to this category, and the names of leaders. Many of you typed. But have you thought of it that these political leaders came from amongst people like you and I? So it means that this spirit of leadership didn't start when they got to a particular position. The spirit of leadership started at the level that you and I are now. Some of you are leaders of groups, even WhatsApp group. Nobody must say anything. Everybody must respect certain things. You have a domineering spirit. Some of you belong to groups. Some of you are in schools. What kind of spirit, what kind of leadership trait do you portray? Because this is exactly the trend that have been nurtured that you are seeing. I always say to people, I said, if you want to know the health of a nation, I want you to listen to this. If you want to know the health of a nation, look at their leaders. Just look at their representatives. Look at the people that they chose to represent them. When you see them, then that explains the type of nation that nation is. So look at your leader. If your leader, for those of you watching from all over the world, you can say I'm not particular about my country now, I'm saying all over the world. If your leader is always sick, traveling, or always being admitted in the hospital, what does that mean? It means that you have a sick nation. Then it also means that you have a sick citizen. If you have a leader who do not believe that the young people, because there is a lot, honestly, there's a lot to talk about, but this is stage by stage anyway. If you think that your leader falls into a certain category, the category of the intimidating leadership, I want you to ask yourself, you that you're in a small group, sometimes don't you put some people that you can influence in leadership? I say it's our own people that is there in your little area, because that's like a puppet. Somebody you can control, you have influence over people, like you say, my own, greediness, self. So look at it, just examine it so that you can understand that this leadership, this nation that is under a political siege did not begin with the leaders that you are looking at. This nation that is under a political siege started and is starting with you and I. Sorry, somebody is saying I should mention the other speaker. I'm sorry, I can't, But don't worry, there will be opportunities to mention, to still talk about this. Like I said, we will teach. There is a lot. That's what we do here, LIBL Academy. So sorry, I won't be able to explain that. In fact, let me be honest. So you see these three spirit of leadership that I've explained today. What I'm supposed to do is to also give you illustrations and then ask you to give me an example, to make it more practical. But don't worry, during your project, we will see more. Like I said, the class is going to be more interactive also as we go on. Okay, so I want you to do a self-examination of yourself and say, are you contributing to the political scene? Because the truth of the matter is that your leader is a representation of yourself. Sometimes I drive around And I see whenever you don't see a policeman or a traffic warder at a junction or at a traffic light, people don't obey traffic rules. Why? Because their mentality is nobody will punish me, nobody will blame me or anything. So nobody obeys. That is where you see a nation that is under a political siege. So I want you to shift your attention from those people. Let's begin. Part of the solution, and this is where I end it so that I can take more questions. I'm sorry I've taken time, but I'm still within time anyway. But I'm sorry I've taken time so that I know more questions will probably come in, or one or two questions. One of the solutions to this, okay, don't let me talk about solution. Let me just end it here because I know that your questions will make me talk about solution. Let me end with a quote. I want to end with a quote. Leadership. A leader is not judged or measured by their output, rather by their capacity. I want you to think about that. Leaders are not measured by their output, but by their capacity. If you're a president of a nation and your productivity is at the level of, is a productivity level of a local government, despite the fact that you feel you are doing something, people will not judge you by that productivity. They will judge you by the capacity, your capacity. And I'm saying, look within yourself, look at yourself. What's your capacity? What you are giving out, is it the level of your productivity? Are you being productive maximally? At this junction, I'd like to say thank you, and I'd like to take a bow and give room for question and answers. Give room for questions and answers. So please let your question come in. Currently working on, Larry said, true, sir, currently working on an executive list and a bit of favorism is entering it. God bless you. Thank you, Larry, for being truthful. Thank you for being truthful. All right. Yeah, well, thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Yeah, I'm done. Let your question come in and let your comments come in. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Zion Komalafe says, I remember a poem of the topic, The Leader and the Led by Niyo Shudare. Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, so there's a question. Is it possible for one person to have more than one of these spirits? Yes, 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 yes. It is very possible. However, just like when you talk about personality traits, where you have some people are choleric, some people are sanguine, some people are phlegmatic, some people are melancholy, you have a dominant one. And oftentimes it is the dominant one that is sane. So yes, it is possible. Hey, appreciate you, sir. Thank you for appreciating me. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, any other question? Any other question? I'm going through both YouTube and Instagram, YouTube and Zoom. If you've got questions, if you've got comment, let it come in. Somebody, okay, additional, so, my own, someone you can control ungodly. Okay, thank you for that. Does the domineering spirit have an advantage? Oh, yes, they've got advantages. They've got advantages. And the advantages is that sometimes these guys are go-getters. They get things done. They've got certain personality trait. You know what? So for those of you saying, oh, we should talk about this, there is a course that is called Business Intelligence course. So maybe you should register for that course when it's coming in November, though that one is not free. Maybe if you register for it, you will have more understanding of some of these things. So they've got advantages. They are go-getters. Like I said, they are not necessarily bad. They're not necessarily bad. Not necessarily bad. But then they can also be bad. If the other spirit that they have, spirit of leadership that they have, does not help to put a balance, put a proper balance to it. So that's it. So someone is saying, oh, somebody said I fall under an intimidating leader. What can I do to become more decisive? Amazing. Now, questions are coming in. Okay. how can you be more decisive? You want the sincerity of this? I think you need to be willing to fail. Okay? You must be willing to fail. You must be willing to believe in yourself. Willing to fail, willing to believe in yourself. Because one of the challenges why many of these intimidating spirits are influenced is because they are oftentimes afraid. So they live under the shadows of others. They're afraid of upsetting others. They're afraid of stepping on toes. They're also afraid of failing because they don't really believe in their own strength. So firstly, I must be honest, you must be willing to embrace failure. Because, should I give one more quote? Should I give a quote? Should I give a quote? Okay, let me give you a quote on failure. Failure is not a sign of ignorance. Rather, failure is an experiential knowledge gained for success. Failure is not a sign of ignorance. Rather, it is an experiential knowledge that is gained, or gained experiential knowledge. Because when you fail, just like Thomas Edison, I think that's the guy that made the bulb. I don't know if that quote was truly from him when they asked him, how many times did you fail? He said his response was that he didn't fail, rather he has learned 99 times or 99 ways that won't work, something like that. Because the reality is that when you fail oftentimes, you've gained an experience. It's knowledge. So you must be willing to accept the knowledge. You must be willing to accept failure. Okay, failure is part of, I might miss it, I might get it wrong, but let me stand. Let me take this decision. If you fail, get up again. Permit me to make reference because I'm a believer, so and I use the things I've learned in the scripture to also build myself up. There's a scripture that says that a righteous man might fall 7 times, but that 7 times he will get up. So meaning that if you fail once, don't worry. That scripture also says that he said, rejoice not against me, O my enemy, for when I fall, I will arise. When I sit in darkness, the Lord will be a light unto me. So you might fall, but you will arise. You might make a mistake, but don't worry. So you must first believe in yourself. I hope I'm not spending too much on that question, but I just feel I need to reach out to you. Then, sorry, not reach out to you, like answer that question. And secondly, get a mentor. Oftentimes, people with certain personality traits can fall under that category, like phlegmatic and melancholic people. They can fall under that category. So please, that is how to ask so many questions. I don't even know where I am now. Okay. I hope I've been able to answer that question. Please, if I have, just make a comment that yes, you are pleased with that. How can someone with domineering spirit work on himself? Okay, what you can do is learn more on emotional intelligence, because domineering spirit is not bad in itself, but you need to. So one of the things that domineering leaders, authoritative leaders lack is emotional intelligence. Sometimes they don't care whom their actions are affecting. They really don't care. Once they see that way, they just move on. So work on emotional intelligence, increase on it. Okay, so everything growth with Tiana. Okay, I think you're the one asking a question about decisiveness. Please get a mentor. Get somebody to mentor you. Get a mentor. I know how tough that can be. And if I'm not surprised, you might probably be a phlegmatic or melancholic person. If I'm correct, please put it so that I will feel like I know something. But if I'm wrong, don't say it, so don't die. Okay. But I think you are a phlegmatic quiet, reserved, you know, oftentimes just like being on your own. All right, so let me read more questions. Let me read from, sir, do these leaders know the spirit in them? Well, they might not know it as I've said it, but I'm saying it so that also you can be aware. You know, some might not know, okay, this is what is at work in them. Okay. So, for example, like part of the reason domineering spirits don't change, they are tough to change, is because they are usually right. And I said that when you look at the personality trait, they belong to these choleric people. They are smart. They're usually right. Not all the time, but they're being right. Oftentimes, it's not always balanced. Okay, so I think I've answered that. Thank you, sir. How can an authoritative leader be managed? Okay, so I think I've answered that. Authoritative manager, please learn more on emotional intelligence. Learn more on emotional intelligence. Is it possible for someone who tends to be an intimidating leader to develop and change their approach to leadership? Yes. Okay, and I think it's similar to what everything with oh, so I'm correct. Those of you on YouTube, you can see everything. Growth with Tiana says, I am melancholic and phlegmatic. So yeah, you see, so that's a trait oftentimes. And there's nothing wrong. You just need to learn how to balance it, how to improve and get some things right. Okay. So yes, I've answered. I think your question is similar to what was being asked earlier. You know, let me read more question. So what are the possible suggestions or solution to help someone with a domineering spirit? Does a domineering spirit have advantage? Okay, I think I've answered that. Leaders are not measured. Okay, all right. So let me read YouTube again, and I think in 2 minutes I will end it. A true, sorry, so many questions, so many comments, and thank you for keeping the comments coming. A very enlightening session. Thank you, sir. All true. We can relate this to everyday situation. We can find this spirit even in local settings. Very well, Jennifer. You are correct. Thank you so much for the teaching, sir. My question is, in a country like ours, I don't know your country, David Tosin. Okay, I'm joking. All right. How do we make a difference or break this political siege without being in a political position? Thank you. You know what they say? The change begins with it. You know what? Maybe I will answer your question last. This will be the last one, please. Let me answer one more question. I want to end with your question, David Tosin. So let me see if I can answer one more question. Thank you, sir. Eagerly waiting for the outstanding types of leadership. Thank you, sir. Ebenezer, please don't wait too much. Just please subscribe to LRBL Academy on YouTube. You can get notified on some of our programs, and then some of these things will come up. This leadership spirit, are they natural? I mean, inbuilt. Thank you. So I think that question is, maybe I'll take it along with, are they born leaders? Okay. So this leadership spirit, are they natural? I mean, inbuilt. Yes, some are natural, but natural doesn't mean it can be worked on. And then some were developed over the time. So some of this spirit of leadership were got through environment, through relationship, relationship with people, location. Location can determine some of these things. Some of these things are developed also intentionally by some people. So yes, we have rare people who were born with it. So naturally, you just begin to see them portray that attitude, those spirits. You begin to see it emanate. You begin to see it operate. However, beyond that, these things can be learned. They can be learned, Might shock you guys where this spirit of leadership notion started from, where this study started from. Okay, so I believe I've been able to answer that. So let me answer the last question, which is David Tosin's question. And his question is, thank you, sir, for the teaching. So my question is, in a country like ours, how do we make a difference or break this political siege without being in a political position? Trust me, you have to be in a political position. And it begins with you. So, but there are certain steps that could be taken. And that's why, and this was the solution I wanted to give. And I'm glad you asked the question, because when I said I wanted to give one solution earlier, this is what was in my mind. Have you thought of it that political leadership runs the affairs of the nation? So you have people who just join politics one night because it's lucrative. It has become a business. And without any portfolio or any traits of leadership, I want you to pay attention to this, please. Without any trait of leadership, these guys just say they want to become your leader. And you said, okay, come and lead me. I don't think you are getting that point. Somebody whom you have not seen any trait or any form of leadership in him or her, making policies on your behalf, something you may not be able to influence, making decisions, power, authority, doing all of those things on your behalf without proper training or experience. That's too risky, don't you think? It's too risky. It's too risky for us to begin. I think this leadership, and I'm speaking just beyond your level now. When I say your level, I mean as an individual. I'm speaking because we might have policymakers, we might have influencers, people who are in position of authority. I think that political leadership should be a general topic to be taught in schools from the secondary level. And I'm not talking about the civic education that you read, you just read. There is no practicality of leadership. People don't lead. That's why when you see leaders, the reason this leadership is why you have these nations under political siege is because there is no form of leadership. So the politics is not a leadership politics. They don't have the trait of leadership. They don't know what it takes to lead. That's why they are clueless, even with policy that they are making. That's why you can see that priorities are shifting towards mundane things. A country that does not value lives of people or citizens, that values other things more than it. So you tell me, because in your definition earlier, you were given definition of guidance, you were given definition of goal, vision, and I ask everyone, what is the vision of your nation? For you to even know where your country is leading you to. I'm not talking about the manifestos that is often read by political aspirants. The reason we are under this siege is because you have taken a huge risk by not selecting those who have experience of leadership, whose integrity have been tested. Now, let me bring it home because I like to bring everything home. And when I say home, let it begin with you. What can you do? I asked you earlier, I said, ask yourself, what traits are you even displaying in your own form of leadership? If you, in your locality, if you are going to choose, do you choose based on religion, age, sex, tribe, finance? Some of these things might be relevant factors in certain ways, but are these major factors? Are these the things that guide your relationship or even the people you relate with, or how you relate with people that you relate with? Because you once told me, and when I say you, I'm not referring to just to David, I'm talking to everybody. You once told me that leadership is about service. You told me leadership is about influence. So ask yourself, whom are you influencing? Because you can't just say you want to go into the political siege, break a political siege, if you don't even have a value of leadership within you, if you don't have the responsibility. I think I have to end now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the time. Thank you for the session. Thank you for being available today and for making this an interesting session. You know, I enjoyed the comment. Thank you for the comment. I would have said you should drop light bulb moments, but this moment, okay, you can drop light bulb moments, but I may not read them. Okay, drop them on YouTube. Drop them on Zoom. You know, just drop them. Let others benefit from it. So it's time for announcement, and I'm going to introduce the please. Good luck a co-host. Please make him a co-host, please, if he's not, so that because I'm going to introduce him and he's going to speak. So I spoke yesterday about alumni president, and our alumni president is on this page, is on the group also with us this evening. And I'm just going to give him about 3 to 5 minutes for him to introduce himself to you, and as well for him to explain how he has networked and the relevance of, you know, because I know some of you are still not participating. So tell others. By the time we do the group sharing, we do the grouping, tell your team members to participate. Okay. Good luck. Over to you, please, if you are okay.
All right. Good evening, everybody.
Thank you.
Can you all hear?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Good evening, everyone. So sorry I haven't been able to attend any of the meetings from day one. Sometimes I'll come online, network will just throw me off, and that just happened that way. So I want to congratulate everyone that has joined today's meeting, particular training. Okay. One of the most interesting thing about the leadership intelligence course is the fact that it looks too, how will I put it, too true or too power packed, too endowed to be free. Sincerely, I remember when I saw the list of speakers for this particular year, and you know, owing to the fact that I know majority of them personally by what they do, I was amazed. I'm like, and this whole package goes for free. I know about 4 of the speakers that will be speaking at this year's leadership intelligence. To see them one on one for counseling, like to have a counseling section for one on one, is about 200,000 naira. One of them have a mentorship for about 200,000 for just about some hours meeting. Another runs for about 300 dollars. That's closely 400,000 with him a mentorship. Okay. And having them to speak to us for free, it's something amazing. So I want to please every one of us, please don't take it lightly. Let's be involved, let's be actively involved and participate in the training process. I am Goodluck David. By the grace of God, I'm a lawyer, and I was part of this training about 2 years ago. I did the leadership intelligence, I did the business intelligence. I also was part of the training for the teenagers, even that for the teachers. I participated in all of it. And majority of the persons I have in my cycle currently, I met them during the training. The likes of Seton, Joshua, Alex Gideon. In fact, I've happened to visit some of them and they hosted me in their place. We met in the process of this training. One of them was my group leader. We had some conversation online, and when I started doing something, he was part of the team. And currently, he's part of my team in an NGO. We all work together. So I want to please everyone that far beyond the whole learning process, there is room for networking. There is room to connect with people doing great and amazing things out there. Okay, and I'll be so glad to receive you all as part of the alumni member of this great institution. We have so much in stock for you. We are putting up a lot of programs, activities that after this training, you're going to be part of more trainings, more networking sections, more mentoring sections that's going to build every one of us and ensure that we don't just end here, but we continue and sustain whatever impact this training will bring to us. So from me and on behalf of the rest of the executives of the alumni body, I'm saying congratulations everyone for joining this training. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. That's the alumni president of the LIBL Academy. So once you graduate, you will be added to the group. And like you said, we are trying to put up some things. In fact, like yesterday's session, I know Zuma, I think I remember that name, on YouTube was asking if you could reach out to one of the speakers. And I've spoken to the speaker said, no problem. You know, eventually, that when the time comes, we are trying to come up with a mentorship program strictly so that you can network, because some of you may have may find opportunities through this. And what Good Luck shared is quite inspiring. You know, I didn't even know some of the guys he met during this. I know some of them, they used to participate a lot, comment, and the class has been interesting, really, honestly. So sometimes on the group, I realize some people don't participate. I mean, they don't do the test. And let me speak about the test. Don't be afraid if you miss first test. Some people said they had 0/20. Don't worry. The reason for that could be that you didn't submit, that you submitted without clicking. I'm not sure that system made an error. There were some people who did not submit and the session just ended. Don't forget it's timed. And there were some people who submitted, you know, but didn't answer anything. So that's why you may have that. So please, we've put some videos, links on the group to help you so that you go through the video. I think our tech support, you know, did a video just to put you through. And that's why you can reach out to the admins to assist. But it was impressive. We have over 200 people who did the test. See, nothing to be afraid of. You still have about 19 weeks or 19 tests. Don't say 19 weeks. It's about 19 tests to do or more. So if you fail the first one, don't worry. I was telling somebody, I said, you can still be the best graduating student. Trust me. You know, but if you don't participate, we don't dash certificate. That I've said that before, and I'm saying it again so that people will not think I can beg my way through, I can give excuses, it won't work. But don't be afraid if you miss the class. That's why we have it on YouTube. We have not removed it because we want you to have access to it till the end of this training. We want you to have access to it. And please, if you're on YouTube or you're on Zoom, you've not liked the page, please subscribe to LIBL Academy so that it can be suggested to more people and people can benefit from it. And of course, I appreciate all speakers. The admins, they are working tirelessly. The alumni, they're working tirelessly behind the scene. They're really trying, you know, so much just to make everything work out well. So your test for second week 2, will be on again. Please ensure that you don't submit. Once you submit, you can't do it again. You wait for third week. And if it happens, nothing to feel bad about. Trust me, I mean it. Nothing to feel bad about. There's nothing to feel bad about, you know, about that. So just submit it. Make sure you click an answer before you submit. Pick an answer, submit. Pick an answer next. Pick an answer next. Only press the submit button when you are done. And don't forget it is timed. So if you don't submit before it is timed, then it might just go off automatically on its own. So I wish you success. Thank you so much for having today's session. The next session is on Wednesday. Wednesday is going to be very interesting. I'm trusting God, really. You know, trust me. And that's why I say invite people who didn't even register. Let them just come and gain the knowledge. Let them come and gain the knowledge. I believe you've been blessed. I want to appreciate all the alumni all the alumni executives. God bless you. Thank you so much. They are doing a lot. And the project coordinator, Kufre, one of these days I will tell him to speak, you know, address all of you. Kufre is also doing a lot. He's the one helping with the questions and setting it up. So maybe I won't let you speak to him so that you don't start asking him for answers. Okay, so at this point, I think I can say, see you on Wednesday. Don't be late. God bless you. Bye.